Hey everybody, this is Jonathan Ogden, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Well, hello, and welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Merrifield, and we're finally starting the show right now after I kept Mike waiting for at least an hour. I'm sorry,
forever.
Mike.
You didn't even do a proper intro, Jake.
I know. I'm so sorry, Mike.
It happens.
I let you wait.
I was basking in your air conditioning, watching some Olympic sports, and then I saw that Coming to America was on, so I turned that on. And so, no, I wasn't bored. Not bored, so.
Good.
Just ready.
You're a very patient co-host. I appreciate that. So, yeah, big applause for Big Mike. Oh, wait, why isn't that playing? Oh, wait, it's over. See, this show is already falling apart.
Unmute,
let's
Jake,
try this
unmute.
one.
Big applause, Big Mike.
There you go.
It is. Thank you. Big applause, Big Mike. This is, of course, the What's Bruin Show.
Hot edition.
What's Bruin Show Network.
Freaking
I know.
hot, Jake.
You're saying you're in here with the air conditioning, but my air conditioning is not quite caught up yet.
No, not completely, but it's
taking the edge
it's
off
better
the
than
heat.
staying
Yeah.
outside. Yeah,
It's
because
better than being outside, but it's not quite as good as being inside the house.
yeah,
Because, of course, What's Bruin Studios is actually a garage.
Mm-hmm.
Not, it's a little secret for everybody, but that's what it is. And so, yeah, the air conditioning is just a swamp cooler that's attached to the side of the house, which, incidentally, is how I grew up. I didn't have central air
Being
in
in the
my
IE.
childhood home until I moved out. Then my parents put in an extra bathroom and air conditioning. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on
Of
here?
course they did.
But, yeah, it's fine. That's fine. But I've never lived in a house without air ever since. But here I am in the What's Bruin Studios in a garage with a swamp cooler. So, taking me back to my roots, right? Desert-like environment. Anyways, it's the What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show Network. We thank you for your support. Mike and I's little independent garage band podcast. We love you. And we're ready for the football season. I'm ready. Are you ready, Mike?
Oh yeah,
I'm super ready. I want a game to happen.
I hate summer. I want the fall to be here quick.
I love the summer.
Football, basketball, hockey.
But I love the football better.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
totally.
I'm ready for it.
I'm even excited to do fantasy football. What's that about?
I'm the commissioner of 2 leagues, and I won the other one, my prestigious, awesome league. I'm the reigning champion of. So yeah, I'm looking forward to fantasy football too. Mike, are you in a fantasy football league?
I am not. If you need players, let me know.
All right. Well, I mean, geez, we almost should. I'm already commissioner of 2 leagues, and I'm in a third. So I don't know if I can do a fourth one, but now you have me considering maybe a What's Bruin fantasy football league. So I don't know.
Oh, all your leagues are full.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, no worries. I'm just.
yes.
I tinkered with it last year. I did the ESPN, and then I even had the ESPN app, fantasy app, so I can quickly change players out, swap them out.
ESPN is not my
fun.
favorite site, but it happens to be the site that all my leagues are on, and it's good enough. It's better than the worst one for me is Yahoo. I hate Yahoo. Yahoo's fantasy football league site is trash. My apologies if you like that one, but well, maybe I don't know. I guess we'll start with, if you're interested in the What's Bruin fantasy football league, email the What's Bruin email, what'sbruinshow@gmail.com, and I don't know, maybe I could be swayed to run a 4th league. I don't know.
All right.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we already got 4 players, right? Me, you, Bill, Mike, Bill, Jamaal. Yeah, I'm sure we could do that. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know. Also, you can subscribe on the Substack, what'sbruin.substack.com, or patreon.com/what'sbruinshow for just a little over $2.
$2.
A month, you can send the What's Bruin Show into the future. Like I said, independent garage band podcast heading into the Big Ten. We're on to big things now. We need your support. So thank you for your support.
Hell's yeah, people.
If you subscribe, you get on the Slack feed, and you also will get extra podcasts now and again. You can also subscribe at what'sbruinshow.com. All that's in the show notes. You can watch the show with a slideshow attached on YouTube. Just search What's Bruin or WBS on YouTube. Actually, just search What's Bruin Show. Sorry about that. And in the show notes, you can get some What's Bruin Show merch by going to the mylocker.net site. That's down in the show notes once again. And finally, and by the way, I'm going to be, the hotline. We got a couple hotline calls today. And that number is, and we need to get the hotline calls going. Are you excited about?
Oh, we got some.
Bruins in the Big Ten? Are you excited about just college football in general? Right. Tell us what you want to say. But the number is 805-399-4WBS.
Suck it, Rain of Troy.
Sucker Ray and Troy. And incidentally, I will be on a roundtable podcast on the Reign of Troy feed on Friday night with my good friends from Reign of Troy and a guy named Kenny who used to be on a podcast called Traveler Hates Thursdays, and they're a fun bunch. So look for that. Mike,
What's up?
what have you been doing?
Oh God, practice. Trying to stay cool from this stupid heat.
Yeah.
Taking kids to and from school functions, which
Yep.
my oldest starts high school on Thursday.
How was cheer camp?
She absolutely loved it. It was in Palm
That's good.
Springs. So
Woo,
she was,
woo.
she was like,
They're trying to murder the
We didn't
cheerleaders?
go outside.
That's
at
child
all."
abuse.
I know, right?
Jesus. Lord have mercy.
my youngest.
Work up in the garage. That is like,
Yeah, seriously.
that's cruelty.
My youngest turned 10 years old last week, so
Let's
I now have
go,
all
you
my
go.
kids in double digits. So it's been busy. It's been busy.
That's good.
and I'm pretty freaking exhausted.
Go Bruins.
Yeah, my full-time starts again next week, so I'm kind of ready, kind of not ready.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for football.
Do you have
Let's
any
do it.
do you have any regular interview appearances scheduled or anything like that? You doing any of the rounds on any of these podcasts and whatnot?
Not yet, but they're coming up. We were trying to get one of the Iowa 24/7 sports guys, but schedule didn't mesh up. So probably next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely looking to get a few more of those guys on this show. And they've said that they would like me to come on their shows too. But so that'll happen in the next 3 weeks. So
Sounds good to me. All right. Well, with that being said, Mikey, let's get to the BRO-filiated headlines with Mike Regalado.
Mike Regalado.
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
Yes,
shout out
Eddie.
to Mike Regalado.
Shout out to Mike. Iron Mike.
yeah, so we have a few headlines, and we're getting to that
Hi, bro.
part of the year where we're actually going to have headlines rather than just
Yay.
talk
Speculation.
headlines. Basically, no more
Complaining
headline
about
shows.
The perception
There
of
you go.
UCLA
Yes, exactly. Because
in
we
relation
actually
to
have
the Big Ten.
exactly.
Yeah.
First things first. UCLA, Florida A&M transfer edge, Sharif Say, who committed to the Bruins in the spring, is
Straight baller.
academically cleared, and
Yeah, all
he's
right.
good to go. He showed up at camp on Tuesday. Deshaun Foster said that similar to the Michigan State running back transfer, Jalen Berger, he has to acclimate and get up to get his body up to speed. What Deshaun Foster said about Berger
Mikey,
is that
Mike, breaking news. Breaking news.
What,
Breaking
what,
news.
what?
Oh my God. Epiphany.
Breaking news.
on a weekly basis.
News just in.
I just thought of what our drop for burger is going to be. Because I just listened to a 4.5 hour Bill Simmons podcast about Pulp Fiction, one of the GOAT movies.
wow, weird because I just saw that and Reservoir Dogs this weekend.
Well, yeah,
Just
we're
randomly,
coming up
I'm
on
like-
the 30th anniversary.
Oh, nice.
But what I'm saying is, right, it just occurred to me. We got a new guy. He's going to be running back. He's probably going to be second string running back. He's going to get some carries. His name's Burger,
Yeah.
and that's a tasty burger. Come on, Mike.
Oh, that's good.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo!
What about Welcome
Bruins.
to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger?
See,
Can
I
take
was
your
go
order?
Bruins. I was thinking about that, but
That
I'd
is a
rather
little
have-
cheesy though. That's
I'd rather have Samuel Jackson.
That's true. That is. That is a tasty,
burger. Come on, he scored a touchdown.
Yes.
That's a tasty burger.
Oh, dude.
All right,
Yes.
all right,
Well played.
move on.
Well
All
played.
right,
Yeah,
all
we're
right.
moving.
Tell me about the other guy. Tell me about the transfer that's got the thing.
Anyway, but yeah, just to talk, basically set it up with Berger. Like, not to say that Berger didn't come into camp in shape, but Foster wants him to get his body acclimated. Plus, he has to basically learn the offense along with it. So he wanted him to get his body ready first before he gets thrown into the fracas with the other running backs. And that's basically the same thing, although he did say that, actually, Kaika Malloy said that today, that he has to do the same thing, but he's been doing some work. So
Sure.
he should probably be in the mix next week.
Is this the guy you were commenting on earlier off the air?
No,
That's a
I
different
will
guy.
tell you about that,
Okay, good.
that guy in a while.
We'll get to that.
But anyway, this guy gives UCLA more depth because more depth at the edge, because
That's
as
good.
we know, the edge was thoroughly depleted. And
They're going to be having to put together something to get a pass rush on the outside, is what we're speculating about.
yeah,
But this goes towards that.
exactly.
So that's a good thing.
So that helps out. Also, UCLA last week, UCLA got a commitment from 3-star offensive lineman Nehemiah
Good job.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a baller, man.
And,
We
3-star
hope.
offensive lineman who is very skilled and talented. And you definitely, the offensive line is an area of concern, not just right now, but in recruiting. UCLA just has to bring more people. If you heard the last Bruin broadcast, they talk about how UCLA's starting five is pretty solid. And
Well, we were saying that last week.
Exactly. But behind them, a lot of question marks. A lot of guys who haven't played a lot. So a lot of these guys have to really get up to speed, have to develop pretty quickly.
And I would just say, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. So this is good for the future of the UCLA offensive line. One last quick tidbit, basketball-wise. I'm not going to talk basketball or analytics or stats, just really simple. The Big Ten, which UCLA is now joining.
Are you trying to talk basketball?
Yes, but you like this.
I would like to avoid the basketball shows for as long as possible.
Come on, Mike.
This is a sign of...
This is a headline?
This is a sign.
So I will allow it.
Good. Exactly. No, we're not going to go. We don't have to go into this. This is a sign that the Big Ten is looking west.
Yeah.
As they announce the Big Ten tournament sites for the next 4 years: 2025 in Indy, 2026 Chicago, 2027 Indianapolis, 2028 Las Vegas.
Let's go.
And that's for the men's tournament. The women's tournament in the next 4 years is Indy, Las Vegas, and Detroit. So hopefully they'll bring. Hopefully they'll bring the Big Ten media days to Vegas, because that seems like a smart move. Although I still revel in how
It'd be a lot
just awesome it was
easier
to
for
be on
for your boy to get there.
Yeah,
But,
right.
Whatever.
It'd be easier for all us boys to get there, and girls, and reporters,
Yeah.
and peoples,
Yeah.
and they thems. We respect all here, Jake.
Sure.
Sure. And that's all the headlines
I am talking about your boy, though.
Yes.
I'm not confused about that one. I am your boy.
No, definitely. Yeah, because even though traveling to Indianapolis wasn't horrible, it did hit me on the way back.
Once you got there, you're like, geez, I'd rather be in Vegas. Is that kind of the thought you had?
Yeah. Well,
I can see that.
did I tell you the story last? I'll make it quick. I get to I step out of the second day, do all my UCLA stuff, hail a cab, because I have to be at the airport at 7 p.m. Indy time.
Yeesh.
I leave probably about 5. Make it there in about 20 minutes, no problem. Get through security in about 10 minutes. I'm about an hour early for my flight. The flight takes off an hour and 10 minutes late because of storms and lightning and stuff like that. So I finally land in Denver, where my connecting flight is, and I have to haul ass like 20 gates away. And luckily I made it. And luckily they were slightly delayed too, so I really didn't have to run. But, oh, man, just how annoying is that going to be for travel,
Oh, no, definitely.
Oh, God. Connecting flights are stupid. How are connecting flights cheaper than direct? I don't get it. Stupid.
Because you're at their convenience, not yours.
Whatever, I don't care.
That's all it is. They're just fitting you onto some plane that still has room.
Screw 'em.
That's all it is.
Jerks.
That's all it is.
Anyway, so those are the headlines, and yeah.
Good headlines, Mikey.
Thank you. Thank you
I
very
like
much.
that.
Bro.
Yeah, we're back to actually having a headlines segment and not a whole episode based on
Well, to be fair, I walked in here after a very long work day, just sat down and said, Mike, talk a lot. And that's
Done.
where we're at. So, I mean, mission accomplished on phase 1.
Wait, you want me to talk a lot?
Let's get to phase 2, where I
Mm-hmm.
also want you to talk a lot, right? That's going to be the UCLA, what is it? This is the summer fall camp report, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
Blue 32, Blue 32, California, hood, hey! Football.
So UCLA started fall, summer camp, summer, fall camp.
Mm-hmm.
We should say like SFC. They started SFC, right? This last week.
Preseason camp?
FC.
We can just make it simple.
SC. No, we want to say SC.
Yeah, no, boo.
SFC.
Fall camp, screw it.
All right.
Fall camp that takes place in summer.
Because it's not fall.
I know, right?
But I guess it's like school. School's supposed to take place in the fall, and it's starting right now. Like,
Well,
Malcolm starts
UCLA
school on Friday. It's so stupid.
But UCLA doesn't start
UCLA's
school
got it
until
right.
October.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, not quite. Or like late. Is it October 1st?
I think it is.
I
Yeah.
thought it was like September, whatever. Oh, anyways.
Late September, early
They're
October.
doing it right.
Yeah.
Whatever the school system,
God, I hate it.
middle and high school, starting in early August is just bonkers.
Oh, then
It's so
we
stupid.
want to end early because it's hot. It's like, do you know how much hotter it is in August than it is at the end of June?
No kidding, bro.
Oh, damn,
It's
people.
ridiculous. I mean, yeah.
Bro.
bro.
Unbelievable. Anyways, Mikey, fall camp is underway.
Mhm.
They've had, 4 or 5 practices now? 5 practices?
Yeah, 5.
How many have you gotten out to?
I've been to 2.
You're the man, dude. Let's go, Mikey.
Thank you.
Iron Mike.
Out there, braving the practices
Mm-hmm.
on the west side.
Mm-hmm.
And number one, first question. If you had to compare the amount of access you have had to practice this in the 2 practices you've gone to so far this year under Coach Deshaun Foster, this is LA, we're in California. How would you compare it to the practices you saw under the former regime? Chip Kelly.
That I do have one gripe. It's
Chip Kelly?
If you want more access to it, but I do get the opposite, which I'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same.
What?
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
20 to 25 minute viewing sessions for the media. Although the individual periods seem a little bit longer, so we get to see, and we're just seeing more drills. So that's the same thing. We're seeing the start of practice, which is all drills. We're not seeing any.
You haven't seen any
like
team
one-on-ones?
offense?
No.
Like, we're terribly worried about how Eric Bieniemy's offense is actually going to be in RL, IRL, and yet we haven't seen eyes on it.
Are you trying to speak like the youngins?
A little bit comes out
because that's so extra.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm doing that with Mike.
Do you like my fit today? These young people. These are the dumbest words. These are the dumbest words.
I told my daughters, I'm not mid, I'm extra, and they looked at me with disgust and pride and confusion. And
Yeah. I get that some too. Anyways, I'm sorry. So the practice access is just the same as it has been, same
pretty
as it ever
much.
was.
It's a little bit more relaxed. They have like one period where they don't want us to film, which I don't understand why, because it's literally just drills. But it's understandable. Whatever. It's a privilege to be there. But yeah, we're some of the periods are just a little bit longer, so we do get to see.
You're right. It is a privilege to be there. It is. You're privileged to have the opportunity to go watch all these young athletes run around and watch our new fledgling young coach who we're very proud of, Deshaun Foster, coach these kids. But you know what? It's also a pleasure for them to have you there, Mikey, to sit there and report on this stuff. So hopefully,
well, what I was going to say, the opposite, the counter argument is that I can see why they want to keep it under wraps, like especially new offense. Maybe they loosen it up next year when they realize what they have. But Chip Kelly did it all the time because he didn't want anybody seeing anything about
Chip Kelly can kind of be a dick.
Here, I could give it a little bit of a pass because.
Okay.
Like, they're really keeping it under wraps. I asked J. Michael Sturdivant what the offense is like. He said it's explosive at Big Ten Media Days. I asked Logan Loya this week. It was like I said, how would you describe it? J. Mike said it was explosive. He goes, you know what? Just like that. It's going to be explosive. I'm like, interesting. And it does seem like they're going to be able to use a lot more of the passing game. But this is just talk, just from what we can tell and what I've gleaned from team periods in the spring. But as far as practice itself, it's we're just seeing little tidbits. But the good thing is that we are seeing,
I guess,
a few individual players, and this gets me thinking because we talked about this last week. Like everyone in the Big Ten doesn't seem to know what UCLA is, so they're kind of just guessing, and they're basically putting out reports on UCLA, which are
just ridiculous.
It's just barely skimming the surface.
Cliche.
Yeah, exactly. Like you even said, they said Chase Garbers instead of Ethan Garbers.
Stuff like that.
Stuff like that. And
or here, I actually have an example. Like, I'm glad you brought it up. I want to hit it real quick because I don't think we're getting into a Let Your Soul Glow, Mike. Sorry, we're watching Coming to America.
I can't.
I wish Bill was here.
So glow.
See, that should be a duet, but it's not because Bill's not here. You're listening, Bill.
Jerk.
F you. You should be here to sing Soul Glow. Anyways, I'm sorry.
So
moving on.
Glow.
What was I? Oh yeah. Okay, so listen to this. This is just off of one of the most recent Locked On Big Ten podcasts, which all of these like Big Ten podcast things are just kind of giving like I said, a surface level skim view, or not really saying anything right about what they're actually talking about when they get to UCLA, because nobody really knows anything about. They haven't looked deep into what UCLA is. So, for example, he's talking about Eric Bieniemy's offense, and he's like, well, that they could go in 11 formation, just one running back, one tight end. They might go into 22 formation with 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. They may run some zone schemes. They may run some gap schemes. They may run some power schemes. The offensive line may line up tight. They may line up wide. Basically, if you're in a enemy offense, you got everything. Well, you know what? He just didn't actually say anything there. He's just like spitting out random formations.
Yeah.
You know what? Under Chip Kelly, they did the same goddamn thing. You know what? Most teams will run some zone and they'll run some power schemes or gap schemes or whatever. So it's just like they don't really know what to say. So they're like, oh, Eric Bieniemy was the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs and was the OC, and so we'll say something generic about that, and then we'll say something generic about Sean Foster choking up at the media day, and then we'll say they lost Latu, and then that's our Bruin talk.
Yeah.
That's basically what you're getting everywhere you go because, you know, and by the way, this is partly UCLA's fault. They haven't been doing very well or well enough to garner any national attention. So no one's really bothering to look because they're the afterthought football-wise coming into the conference with these other 4 teams.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, it's even tough for us, the guys and gals and reporters and whatnots that follow UCLA football because there was so much turnover. There's also so much that there's still quite a bit of talent. I mean, the fact that you're returning your top quarterback, wide receiver, and running back, hey, freaking fantastic. You know, you move Josh Carlin over, who's been looking pretty good. He bulked up a bit, and you're bringing in 2 transfers, but they're looking all right. This is stuff that it goes a lot deeper, but it's stuff that nobody's talking about because they just don't know about it. Or it seems, in my opinion, like you said, they can just gloss over it. But looking deep down underneath the surface, we can see that there's change at this position and that position and here and there. And even with some of the transfers, which, there's this one guy who just looks beastly, which I'm going to talk about in a little while. But, there's no deep dive into it, which is weird because, you know, UCLA and USC finished with the same record last year, and UCLA beat USC. Yet USC is getting all these accolades and saying that they're going to finish in like the top 4, the top 5 of the Big Ten. USC even got ranked 22nd, I think it was, in the preseason coaches poll. Yeah. UCLA didn't even receive a vote.
And by the way, is it understandable why? Yeah, I think so.
It's consistency with the coaches, but you got to look at
a coach that has a good reputation. Even if he has under-delivered at SC. Yeah, Lee Riley's been to the playoffs. He was regarded as one of the best coaches in the country as recently as a couple years ago. Yeah, right. But they lost a bunch of stuff too, Mike. So I totally take your point. But it's much easier to latch on to things at SC. Yeah. Given, for sure, than it is to UCLA. But I know I stopped you mid thought, Mike. But you look at UCLA just on offense, as you just mentioned. Every time out. Are these teams like UCLA and USC coming into the Big Ten going to be able to handle the Big Ten? The size of the Big Ten. You know what? UCLA across their starters on the offensive line averages 320 pounds across the front of the line. Yeah. That's as big as anybody. Yeah. That's as big as anybody in the country probably. Okay. And these are not that's nothing to sneeze at. And then you say, well, Ethan Garbers is at worst a very serviceable, at best a pretty darn good quarterback in relation to the other Big Ten quarterbacks. And then you talk about TJ Harden has shown that he's a good back. Keegan Jones has shown he's a good back. And then we'll see what we get with that Stacey Berger. And then that's not even the strength of the offense as far as we can see it. Yeah. You look at Sturdy and Titus and Flores and Loya.
Talent so
my God, it's ridiculous.
Deep.
It's ridiculous. And then we get to Mataveo and all that. So it's like, on paper, us who are looking at the Bruins very closely can see how this could work out really well.
Oh, yeah.
The big problem is, like you're saying, at practice, we have no idea what the EB system is really going to be. We suspect we know what it is. Yeah. Is it going to be too complicated? Is it going to be cooking? How long will it take to get cooking? Those are the big questions. But gosh, this could be good. They could really deliver on offense.
Let them cook, as the kids say.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry, Mike. I interrupted you.
I was showing my kids. My son was interested in racing games, and I don't have a racing game. I barely play video games, but I have Grand Theft Auto 5, and I wasn't letting him play the whole game itself, but I was like, hey, you could race in there.
Run away from cop cars?
No, just actually going to the races, and he was having trouble controlling. I was like, give me it, and I'm,
How many stars did he get against him, Mike?
Oh, not in a race. You don't get stars in a race. But yeah, I went from last place to first place, and my daughter's there. Oh, damn, he's cooking. Let him cook. Let him
How
sizzle.
fun.
And I'm looking at her. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's awesome.
But yeah, these kids and their lingo.
It's crazy. I want to know how long it will take the Bruins to get cooking, though. I really do. On offense.
Yeah, because you have a whole new system. You only had spring and fall camp. Is it going to take them a few games?
I hope not.
Because, yeah, seriously, that Hawaii game.
The main thing is, if they can just get out of wins, Hawaii and Indiana, right? They really need those 2 wins. And they should have those 2 wins.
Yeah.
They're going to be heavy favorites in those 2 wins. Even though, did you notice the Hawaii line dropped from 17 to 13 after Foster's press conference, which is kind of bizarre.
Oh, yeah,
story.
and apparently
Their win total dropped too.
from 6 to 4.
It was ridiculous.
I'm like, because of us.
I by the way, remind me, I need to bet
brain-freezing
that.
speech?
I need to bet that right now. If it's down at 4, Jesus Christ. Anyways, they have to get those 2 wins. But after that, they're going on the 3-game stretch that they're not probably going to win any of those games.
Yeah.
And so work the kinks out against Oregon, LSU, and Penn State, right? And build out of that and then come out like a fucking cannon for the rest of the schedule. But that's the only good thing about the brutal schedule, how it is set up with those 3 games early on, is that there's nothing to lose in those games.
Yeah.
You're already supposed to get your head stomped in those games. I mean, the Bruins won't admit that, but no one's expecting them to win any of those games.
Yeah.
So if they're working out shit in the offense, that's a good time to work it out.
Yeah. And just a side note, 5 of the teams in the coaches poll top 25 are on UCLA's schedule. So that shows how tough.
There's your Big Ten schedule for you.
UCLA's schedule is.
Yeah.
Well, one of them is LSU.
Yeah.
But still, that's just going to be freaking brutal. But yeah, how quickly can they put all this together? A lot of these guys are returning and played together last year. Hopefully it's not too much. Hopefully the guys that are new can acclimate pretty quickly. Hopefully Berger and
Tasty Burger.
Say can get up to speed quickly so that they can start getting in the mix because they need all the help they can get at certain parts. Like I said, the edge is a huge question mark right now
For sure.
But there's a lot of talent in a lot of these positions. And even today, Malloy said that Olufemi Oladejo will be playing some edge. So,
and what have we been saying for the last month and a half? I mean,
I've been saying Medrano.
It's like Captain Obvious, but yeah. He's such a good athlete. Of course, you're going to have him do some of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At least in some sort of hybrid role. But anyway, so that's kind of how. That's basically how fall camp has been set up. There's not a lot to take, but there are a few things you can see. It's weird because you have the offensive line on the opposite corner from where we are at on the Spalding Field. But you can see how guys like Ruben Unije is he's filled out and he looks really good in drills. How he does with the 4 guys next to him, that's yet to be seen. But yeah, he's looking pretty good. Josh Carlin, like I said, he got a little bit bigger. Alani Makahili, we haven't. Collectively, Bruin Report hasn't really seen a lot from him. Garrett DiGiorgio, that's one of my guys out there. He's looking pretty good. Hopefully, he had some.
Why is he your guy? I'm just curious.
Love that dude.
Oh yeah,
I love that dude.
that's what I want to hear, Mike.
He reminds me of Brock Sampson.
Is he into ska or something?
No,
Does he have a
he looks
fucking
like
commie tattoo on his forearm or something?
He looks like Brock Sampson from the
ident-
Venture Brothers.
Oh, that'll work.
That's exactly why.
That'll work.
He's just the big dude, kind of a mullet-ish thing.
That's my guy.
Why do you look familiar?
That's good. All right.
Go Bruin.
But yeah, other guys really just to quickly guys that are standing out. The quarterback room is just loaded. Ethan Garbers and Justin Martin, they look how they look. Ethan Garbers.
My name is
Ethan.
just call me E.
Thank you. And just Martin.
We haven't really seen a lot from the running backs because, again, they're just on the far field. You haven't seen much. In passing.
But if you were going to mention a running back with a melody, which one would come first with a melody mic.
TJ Harden.
Well, I mean, you couldn't do the melody. Because there's another one that we have. I don't know why I was like in and out on that one. Because there's the other one. There's this one.
I forgot because we used that one for another Jones. But,
I know. Well, now it's
now
it's
it's Keegan's. It's all yours, buddy. Yeah, I haven't seen much of Keegan Jones. TJ Harden
He didn't
sticks
transfer
out
again, did he?
occasionally. No.
Okay, good.
What else do we have here? Haven't really seen any of the fullbacks, receivers. J Mike just looks like freaking J Mike. Titus Mokieu Altimalala. He's looking very good. I think he's going to be a featured player in the passing game.
Nice.
And especially after missing all of last year, I think he has a lot to prove. I haven't seen Rico Flores. Who was the one that stood out? There was a, I don't see it here, but Logan Loya. Guy is 5'11", redshirt senior, just a fast dude. And it physically looks like he probably shouldn't be doing the things that he does, but when he does it, you're just like, oh yeah, that's just Logan Loya. And so his leadership is really going to help out some of the younger guys. But yeah, not a lot to see from the offense because they are on the far end. But let me tell you this: there's a guy who just by chance I looked over to where the defensive linemen were, and all of a sudden I saw this one kid. They have that what is it called? It's like a net that's like about 4 feet high, which forces linemen to get into their stance and stay there and then explode up. All of a sudden I look over and this guy just picks up the sled and just throws it to the side. I'm like, what the hell was that? Miami edge transfer, Jake. This guy's an edge rusher.
That sounds wonderful.
Collins Anchiapong, 6'7", 270 pounds.
Baller, man.
This guy is just huge. He just looks monstrous when he stands up. So that that's very comforting in trying to understand what else UCLA has on the depth on the edge. So that was pretty cool. Devin Kirkwood, he just looks a lot more physically fit. He looks a little bit quicker. Jalen Davies, he has a lot of confidence. He's looking very good. And I haven't seen a lot of the safeties. I want to see
8 foot tall safeties.
Yeah, I've seen him, but I haven't really seen just because there's so much to observe. I haven't really seen him in action.
Yeah. We're talking about Brian Addison.
6'5", 200 pounds. I haven't seen Ramon Henderson either, and he was a guy who like really kind of blew. He would have been one of the defensive MVPs in the spring. And then I believe he got hurt a little bit towards the end of spring. But he's a guy who's going to be quite a baller.
And he was the transfer from
Notre Dame. Yeah. And so right now, those are the guys who are just standing out, who are looking very good.
Okay.
Maybe guys who should look good, or at least in my opinion, are further along than what is expected. So,
okay. Mike, I remember you talking about wanting to possibly do a Mike team, an all Mike team.
The all Mike team, yeah.
Do you have an all Mike team assembled yet?
I do.
What are your categories for the all Mike team? Like, what are you rating them on?
I just picked basically guys who have just stood out so far
over the years. Guys who would have historically been on the all Mike team would have been somebody like the all time all Mike team guy. Is definitely your Superman crush, Caleb Benenoch.
Hells yeah!
Like from the first time you saw him,
I was like, oh my god!
First time Mike saw him,
like his arm is as big as me.
Yeah, Mike was in love with Caleb Benenoch immediately. But what are some other guys that have just struck you? I think Kane Madrano's got to be on the All Mike team.
I haven't seen much of him,
but I mean, in the last few years.
Yes,
you've been talking about Kane Madrano.
I did it. This is an early camp.
Yeah,
all Mike team. So I will have one possibly in the next 2 weeks, and then right before the season starts.
Right now, August 6th. Who's on?
Ethan Garbers.
Hold on.
Okay.
God damn it, Mike!
Come on, Jake.
Can I introduce it first?
Oh, go ahead.
Who is on the what voice are you?
Who's on the all Mike team? Go, Mike. Who's number one?
Number one, quarterback Ethan Garbers.
Okay.
My name is
Ethan.
Just call me E.
Okay.
Running back TJ Harden.
Oh, hey, there we go. I don't know
And we got to get a drop for this guy. Wide receiver, J. Michael Sturdivant.
Sturdy. He's very sturdy. Okay.
O lineman, Ruben Unije.
Okay.
Josh Carlin, another offensive lineman.
Possibly the center.
Yes. He's pretty much C1 right now.
Uh-huh.
Moving over to defense, Jay Toya.
Yeah.
I
need a drop for Jay Toya, too.
Collins and Chiapong. Guy just kind of blew me away.
Throwing slugs around.
Linebacker, Oluwafemi Oladejo.
That's my guy. Hold on.
Go Bears.
Maybe
And
still sad.
Cornerbacks, Jalen Davies and Devin Kirkwood.
Very good.
So
I like
that is my early.
Those are the guys that are sticking out to you,
Mike
Mike.
team that nobody asked for.
Okay, very good. All right. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Good, Mike. Okay, so there is a practice this Saturday.
Yes.
That's an open practice?
Yes.
Anybody can attend?
Yes. It starts at 8:15.
So if you're a fan of the Bruins and you go out there,
go to Lot 8.
You're going to Lot 8. Do you park in Lot 8?
Yes.
And then get out of your car and then walk over to the wall or something? Is that how that works?
Yep.
That's it?
Yep.
How much does parking cost?
Depending on how long you stay there, 2 hours probably $9.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So,
it's ridiculous.
the government does totally suck.
Yeah, the all day parking last year.
$9 for parking on a Saturday on a University of California campus.
Yeah.
What has
Last
the
year,
goddamn world come to?
All day parking was $15. Those bastards bumped it up to 16 this year. Thanks, UCLA. Thanks.
Oh my God. Anyways, sorry. Okay. Is it worth $9 to go watch a practice at 8 in the morning? I don't know. But if you want to do it, maybe you'll see Mike there.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, maybe you'll see Jake there. I don't know. I might go if I wake up. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I might take Malcolm there. Malcolm now is a pad wearing football player.
Nice.
More to come. But anyways, okay. So you'll definitely see the Bruins practice on Saturday if you go. You might see Mike out there running around if you go.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see who else you see. But anyways, get out to practice if you want to go see them. Because this is your opportunity. Is there going to be any more of those?
The 17th, I believe, a week later.
So there's just two.
Yes.
Of those
two open practices.
fan
That's it. Yes.
practices.
Uh-huh.
Right, well, maybe they'll actually show some fun stuff too. Some fan service.
We'll see.
I doubt it too.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Mikey. Well, let's get to the symposium and then to the listener feedback. How about that?
Let's do it.
Do you think we drink too much?
No, we don't drink. Men face reality, women don't. That's why men need to drink.
I hate it when podcasters talk about what they're drinking.
What else am I gonna drink, Bob? A fucking Fresca?
No, so Fresca night. Mikey, what do you happen to be drinking as we are talking about the What's Bruin Symposium? A conversation over drinks, my friend, and you got beer tonight. What is it?
Oh, yeah. What a beer tonight? Yeah, as y'all may know, I love the beer, and especially this one. And I haven't had it in a while. I think the last time I had it was on the What's Bruin show, maybe a few months back. But a Racer 5 IPA from BRO Republic. It is one of my favorites.
One of your all-time favorites.
Just a damn tasty beer. And it doesn't.
Are you sure you didn't have Racer 5 last week?
No, yeah, exactly. Right. It was recently, but I
you
saw
went
it.
a long time between having it.
Yeah, and I'm like, I saw it on the shelf. I was like, I gotta have you, especially because we're covering the Bruins, and to an extent, this is a Bear Republic, and but we also stop for casual drinkage. So let me toss it to you, Jake. What are you having today?
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I'm having a bottle that I picked up at one of my favorite local liquor stores, which is Mission Wine and Spirits. It's out there in the Central Valley in Van Nuys, off of, I believe it's...
like Central Valley. I was like, you went to Fresno for this?
the center of the San Fernando Valley.
There you go.
Yeah. It's like on, I think, Oxnard and...
Yeah.
And
I mean, without a freeway, it'll probably take about the same time to get there than it would from here to Fresno.
Yeah, you're probably right. Bottom line is, if you want a nice selection of booze, it's at a good price, and it's not at Total Wine, it's not at Bevmo. You could do worse than Mission Wine and Spirits. They have just tons of selection, but they're not ripping you off like a lot of the other just kind of just single liquor stores are. So go out there. I bought for just $20, I think it was, some Pikes Creek Canadian whiskey, finished in rum barrels, and it's good. It's a nice, cheap bottle of Canadian whiskey, which I'm a fan of. So that's what I'm drinking, Mikey. And
go Canada.
Yeah, you hoser. But a symposium is a conversation over drinks, and that's what me and Mikey have here on the What's Bruin show. And we appreciate your support for our little independent pirate ship of a podcast. For how much, Mike?
$2.
Just $2 a month. You can send the What's Bruin show into the future. And we appreciate your support by supporting us on the Patreon and on the Substack. Look in the show notes.
Nice.
Just that easy.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA, fight.
So, Mikey, you want to talk about some listener feedback now, I guess.
Yes.
Now? So let's do that.
So we're going to start off with a few Twitter questions. This
Okay.
one first comes from Bruin Leo, friend of the show,
Leo!
who asks, is it true that UCLA football is showing media a little more than previous regime? As we said earlier, just a hair, just a little bit. The periods are a little bit longer, but we're not getting a lot of hearty, meat and potatoes information, like seeing how what formations are being played, if they're doing natural 4-2-5 defense, natural
not getting really
from
any
last
team
year.
stuff.
So, no, exactly. We're just getting drills. So we're seeing how the individuals are working, but nothing as far as team stuff. Although this Saturday, again, with the open practice, that'll be the first time anybody will be able to see what this team can look like. But not so much. So I'm hoping they open that a little bit more. What else do we have? Oh, where'd it go? Darn it. I had these questions here, and now they are gone.
It's okay, Mike.
And
you're doing great, man.
I am stretching it out because...
Doesn't sound rumpy-pumpy at all.
Not
Sounds
at all.
rumpy-pumpy!
In a show that is unprofessional, unlike us, they would just gloss through and go,
Mike, you're sending us right to Suck Balls Mountain.
Exactly.
Oh my God, my guys suck balls. You know it.
If I suck balls, you are king of suck balls mountain.
Mike's the king.
Antonio, who is a UC_Raider, asks, the chances of any of these upsets are slim to none, but if you had to pick an upset between at LSU, Oregon, or at Penn State, which one would get the most respect nationally?
Oh, most respect.
And help recruiting.
Mikey,
the most respect.
first of all, who asked that question again? That's a good question. I love that question.
Antonio.
Because I thought Antonio was just going to say, like, hey, which one would you like to get? But it's like, which one would you like to get that would do the most for the Bruins? Like
that added
for
a
their
layer.
Riz.
That added a layer.
Talk about
his Riz?
What's going to give the Bruins the most Riz? Right? Yeah.
Good point.
So,
what is
what do you think,
UCLA's
Mikey?
most Riz-worthy potential upset?
I think right now, the one, like, if you had to rule one out, is it a choice between the three? Or is it really a choice between two? Because I think it's really a choice between two.
I think it's a choice between LSU and Penn State. Because
Penn State. Penn State. I was going to say throw Penn State out of there.
Oh, really?
No one gives a shit about Penn State. They want to know how they're going to do against the possible Big Ten favorite Oregon Ducks, quack, quack, quack. Or they want to know how they're going to do in Death Valley in that big game right after LSU hopefully beats the Trojans in their matchup in a neutral field. So, okay, so we disagree on this, Mike. So who do you think, Mike?
I just think, like, Penn State has been underwhelming for an elite team, which, hell, I would love UCLA to be underwhelming as an elite team.
I would love to have UCLA have the profile of Penn State in the last 20 years. Like, there's a stat going on, if they would have had the playoff system now for the last, since they went to the 4, that Penn State would have made the playoff like 6 times.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
anyways, all right, continue.
But which one would garner the most attention nationally?
Most Riz.
Which would have the most Riz? I would say Penn State. I would say Penn State.
Really? That's the only one I would say. Like, no.
Here's the thing. I would say LSU, especially at LSU, because I think they are a little overrated. And I still think LSU is going to beat UCLA. But I have a strange feeling that LSU might wane as the season goes on. And they might not be as strong, that whole argument. UCLA beat LSU, but by the end of the season, they were blah, 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 blah. So that win isn't big.
That really is interesting, Mike, because you are kind of breaking it into now 2 questions, right?
Yeah.
It's what's going to give the most Riz in the moment and what's going to give them the most Riz at the end of the year when they're looking at their resume.
Yeah, exactly.
So that actually is a really good point because you're right. I think Penn State does have Penn State probably is a better team than LSU at the end of the year. That's a great point. I didn't think about that.
And I think that the national thing would be, even though UCLA hasn't beat Oregon, a good Oregon team, I think a lot of pundits are going to be like, oh, well, UCLA knows Oregon. It was at the Rose Bowl. Of course they're going to get, of course they got the win.
Almost beat them a couple times in the last couple
Exactly. So I think that's one where, because there are two former Pac-12 teams, I even think that they would write Oregon off for that. Just going, oh, okay, well, I guess they weren't. I think if Oregon loses to UCLA, that's going to give a lot of East Coast and Big Ten media a reason to go, oh, see, they're not as good as Ohio State. Although, again, I think Ohio State is going to win the Big Ten and the national championship,
right? Strictly
because of failing upward Chip Kelly. But anyway,
big part of that. So I see what you're saying, though. Like, if the Ducks lose that game to the Bruins, that's going to be more of people talking shit about the Ducks than giving any credit to UCLA.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I see that.
So that's why I think, like, Penn State, which, again, like you said, I would love for UCLA to have their resume over the last 20 years. I think that's going to resonate a lot if UCLA by chance beats the Nittany Lions in Happy Valley. Are they Happy Valley? College Valley? Something? Whatever. I don't care.
College Station. College Station?
No, that's Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
College. What?
College something.
We are ignorant mother effers.
Hey, it's our first year.
Look it up, Mike.
Hey, people don't look. People have no
idea. Look it up while I'm
UCLA
talking, Mikey. Because I think you're hitting a couple things on the head, and that is, I want to say
University Park.
University Park.
Yeah.
I want to say it's very easy to say Oregon is the answer to that question from Antonio, because they're the ones that are probably going to be the highest rated team throughout the year and are supposed to be the best team out of the three teams you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
However, I think since that game's at the Rose Bowl and there's such familiarity between the Ducks and the Bruins, you bring up that point. I'm kind of like picking up what you're laying down on that, Mike. So I kind of feel like, yeah, that kind of throws out what I would think would be the obvious answer. And then you're really talking about Penn State, LSU, and that's where I diverge from you, because I think it is, if it was such a big deal, and think of how that win against LSU, that wasn't a great LSU team.
No.
But think of how inflated, or how much that inflated Chip Kelly's, to go back to our familiar term, Chip Kelly's UCLA Riz, right? In that moment in time, when they made Keyshawn Boutte look like a fool, and they really whooped up on those LSU guys at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, they lived off that for, half a season.
Yeah.
Right? Even when he went on to have some disappointing losses in that year. And so I think the answer is, if you beat LSU in Death Valley, voted the premier college football venue, the only one that was voted above the Rose Bowl as far as like places to go watch a game and all that stuff and everything that is, and especially hopefully after LSU kicks the shit out of SC the week before, LSU will be riding high going into that game, hopefully. And then if UCLA takes them down a peg, I think that's one that, even though it's not really the most quality win at the end of the year, it's the one they're always going to be like, oh yeah, but you remember they did that thing? Remember they beat LSU? Remember Deshaun Foster just, they beat them in Death Valley? Like, that's one of those ones that, that means something, I think, more so than it would mean even against better teams. We both think Penn State and Oregon are probably both better than LSU. And also, I'll add this little nugget. I think of those three games, I honestly think the LSU game is the one they have the best chance to win. And the only reason I say that is because LSU is a team that is super talented, but in complete transition at their quarterback position, at their wide receiver positions. Their defense, we have no reason to really think their defense is going to be anything better than like decent to above average, like at best, and they could suck, right? There's a lot of things there that if things break right for the Bruins, if they're in under the radar, they could make a game out of that game. And then all of a sudden you're saying, well, I could squint my eyes and see how that game could be the easiest one of those three to be a big upset for them.
Yeah.
I have a harder time believing they're going to be able to upset Oregon, even at the Rose Bowl, and I have a hard time thinking of them going to Penn State and getting the upset. But Death Valley, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. And we saw it happen a few years ago at the Rose Bowl.
Exactly.
Anyways, great question.
Yeah.
From young Antonio.
So those were the two questions, and now we have two calls, correct?
We have at least two calls. Oh, you know what? There's some more feedback, too, from Carrie sent us in something a couple weeks ago, and I never played it, but our dear friend Carrie, and I'm going to try to pull it up right now because I couldn't get it to work. But it was a post by Women's Water Polo on Instagram, and she was just saying how much she loved UCLA. So let me see if I can make this darn thing play.
Well, thank you, Carrie, because however y'all can get questions or engage with us, and we got to get the Slack channel going because it's not summer anymore.
Yeah, guys.
Okay, no, it actually is summer. Let me rephrase that.
Keep going, Mike.
I was just gonna say that we're getting into the season. It's gonna be fall. The season's coming up, so let's get some topics up there on the Slacker, huh? All right, Jake, what do you got?
Let's see what she says. I'm gonna play it right now, but she says something about UCLA being cool.
Yeah, UCLA is the best place on earth, and I think.
Yeah, UCLA is the best place on earth. That's what she's saying.
It's all you need from that interview.
So, thank you, Carrie, for sending it. Oh, yeah, this was Rachel Fattal, and it's adorable in Carrie's words, and it's in the middle of the interview. She says, UCLA is the best place on earth. So there you go. And she wanted me to make that a drop, so I will try to make that a drop.
Let's do it.
Why not? So good job. Thank you for saying that, in, Carrie. All right, now we get to the calls. One is from Leo, who, by the way, Leo got the What's Bruin Show T-shirt onto a national TV broadcast last year, so we love him for that. And he is relentlessly positive, if we know our good man Leo. So we'll play him first before we get to Darth Vader, otherwise known as Diego, which who knows if he's going to be Darth Vader this time, but it just in general. And we love them both. So let's play what we got to play. I'm pulling it up right now, and
Leo coming in twice with a Twitter question and a call. Sweet.
Good job, Leo.
Hey guys, this is Leo from Long Beach. Giving you a call. I'm excited. The season's around the corner. Your shows, your podcast, amazing. Gets me in my morning through my workouts. So keep it up. Was able to join the town hall with the exec director at UCLA alumni a couple of days ago when we officially became members of the Big Ten. Great event. He took some Q&A from the audience, and yeah, it's exciting for us Bruins to join a new conference. Also got to kind of interact with some people that are going to travel out to the Hawaii game. I'm going to be out there. Hope to be leading some A claps, and I'll be texting you, Jake and Mike, sending you guys pictures. So I look forward to seeing you guys at the Indiana game. Our first game at the Rose Bowl this season. Keep it up, guys, and we will talk soon. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Leo. And yeah, if you don't know, Leo is over in our section, and he stands up on the tunnel, and sometimes the security admonishes him, sometimes they don't, but he leads 8 claps over in our section, and he is a wonderful, wonderful man, and we look forward to seeing him out there at the Rose Bowl. It's funny, Mikey, he mentions the round table and the Welcome to the Big Ten thing. And not only Leo texted me, and I think Leo texted you maybe, also there were multiple people that cited our good friend, the Godfather, Jim Bendat, at the thing, because we heard from Crawford, and then I guess Crawford hit Jim up, and then Leo was like, is this the Godfather? And I'm like, oh yeah. So it's good to know that, friends of the What's Bruin Show are making waves at these events. And the Godfather is very distinctive because, number one, he is a very handsome man. Number two, he likes to wear his Northwestern UCLA split hat, so that kind of identifies him pretty well out there. Not a lot of guys with that hat, that combination. But, yeah, it sounds like a fun event, and thank you very much for calling Leo. And, Mikey, obviously you're going to be covering the Bruins at the first home game, but do you know of any road games that you're doing at this point?
Not yet. That is in discussion, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, very good. So next up, we got Diego.
Hey guys, it's Diego. Just calling in as more of a follow-up on my first call of the off season. You guys kind of laughed off my comments about how the program is being held back by Morgan Center. I agree that doesn't sound great. It's not a real fan positive thing, but I think without more focus and criticism of Morgan Center, the program is going to continue to wallow in mediocrity as it has for the last 6 years now. You'll see a little bit more of it when they go to the expansion of scholarship limits. I think UCLA will tiptoe forward. Places that are leading the sport are going to crash through and, offer the full limit. So UCLA once again will be timid, second tier. They'll be undecided. They'll be careful not to spend an extra $1,000 here or an extra $1,000 there. They just don't get it. They don't understand that they have a obligation to make this program competitive every year in every way they can. They just constantly run it like a government services program. So that's number one. Number two, the Foster thing is pretty disappointing. I think the jury's out. I'm not going to draw conclusions about him, but it's not really a great show. And the fact that he's mocking himself with his little T-shirt and all is the only way out for him, but it's not a good look. And I don't think it inspires a lot of confidence. He could have used that time to sell the program, talk about his assistant coaches, you name it. He could have done anything, but he just kind of gaffed on it. And so not a great opening act for him, but I'm hopeful. I think the team's going to be better than advertised. The defense is going to be stronger than people think. I think the offensive line is going to be better, barring significant injuries. So I'm looking for an over 500 season. I'm optimistic this year. I think next year is another matter entirely, of course. But go Bruins. Let's hope for the best, and let's see if we get ourselves back into the Rose Bowl game sometime before all of us pass away. Thanks. Bye.
God, that is a way to end the call. Absolutely, I hope that happens before we all do pass away. Because, yeah, it's been a while. It's been an absolute while. And if Bill were here, he'd say, there. Thank you, Micah. I was waiting for that. I don't.
The hell are you, Bill?
I don't quite remember laughing off your comments last time, Diego. However, there are parts of what you say that I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with, and I'm glad that you call in to explain more to.
That's an earthquake right there, bud.
Oh yeah, hold on. We're having an earthquake.
We're having
live
an
on
earthquake
the air.
live on air.
Hold on. Let's see how bad this gets.
That's a roller. It's still going.
Still going.
We captured an earthquake on air, although you can't feel it.
Yeah, you can't feel it.
Holy crap, dude.
I mean, as long as this doesn't turn into a giant super earthquake and we all die, in which case you'll have to recover the laptop.
We got a...
How big is it?
Earthquake detected.
Well, that's what my phone knocked it off before it started.
That's the first time I've ever gotten that. That's crazy.
It's unreal. Does that just blow your mind? Oh my gosh. So wait, is it over yet?
Bruins.
Yeah, it's over. Weak.
Does it say how big it was?
So far, no.
Anyway, Mikey, if you see how big the earthquake was, let me know. But I'll go back to answering Diego's call. And getting back to it, yeah, we're all kind of upset. I know I am. I mean, when I was in college, UCLA was the very first team ranked in the BCS, right? In the week 4, 5, 6, or 7 or whatever that was. They were the very first top-ranked BCS team, and it's been all downhill from then so far. And a lot of that is how UCLA has handled their athletic department, and they've gotten themselves here by their own accord, right? It could have gone different, but it hasn't because of decisions that they made. But with that being said, like Chip Kelly leaving was not an ideal situation, and I think that you and me, Mike, and Diego agree that if Chip would have stayed, that wouldn't have been an all bad thing. Although in the way he left, I'm glad he's gone now, and I think he left in like the most despicable of fashions, and so that's kind of changed my opinion on him from what it was like at the end of the year. But with that being said, the way they hired Foster, the way they had to hire Foster, I think Foster so far has turned in a pretty good performance as their head coach, given the fact that he hasn't coached a game yet.
Yeah.
He had the flub at Big Ten, and that is the biggest flub he could possibly have, and it has cost his national reputation. But for those of us that are paying attention to UCLA on a micro level, we don't think it's that big of a deal because we've seen all the other stuff that he seems to be doing pretty good on the scale of a coach that got hired late in the cycle that has no head coaching experience, right? Like they're in this situation because they didn't pull the trigger on Kelly early, and then they let Chip Kelly pull his own trigger late, and that's not all ideal. And it speaks to how the department's been run. But with all that being said, I'm still optimistic because, well, the Bruins are in the Big Ten. The Bruins are on the big stage, and if they can just get their shit together, there's nowhere but up.
Jake, breaking news.
Please. Hold on. You can't say that without letting me play the breaking news, Mike. Son of a bitch.
What's brewing? News.
Breaking news.
On a weekly basis.
News just in.
A 5.7 earthquake
5.7
was 9 kilometers west of Mettler, California.
Where the hell's Mettler?
Wherever the hell that was.
My goodness. 5.7 is pretty big, though.
Yeah,
Nice
that's considerable.
Nice long
that's
rolling
considerable.
earthquake.
Now let's see. Looking at the maps. Where the hell is Mettler, California?
Please.
Not Mettler, Georgia. You mook. Mettler. This is great. Great.
It's okay.
60 miles away. Damn.
Only 60? That's pretty good.
That's a sizable for being. Yeah, that looks like. Oh. We were talking about the Central Valley.
Yeah.
This is just south of Bakersfield.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's okay. I'm glad it wasn't much bigger.
Seriously.
Because I'm not ready for all that.
I like the rollies rather than the crashies.
Yeah, and hopefully there's not a bunch of aftershocks. Like I'm okay with it, like an earthquake every once in a while. But then we get into like late 80s, early 90s territory where there's like lots of earthquakes all the time, and I'm like, everybody's all freaked out. It's like, are we gonna get buried by the Night Stalker? No, we're gonna get crushed by a bridge when the Northridge quake goes.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Like, oh no, we're gonna get blown up in the riots. All those things.
You know, an earthquake is bad
that happened in the mid 90s
when you hear it before you feel it.
Well, especially with Apple, our iPhones are telling us there's an earthquake, and we're like, is there an earthquake? Right?
Like,
Oh shit, there's an earthquake.
Oh, wait, yeah, we're rolling.
Oh, whatever. Anyways, we survived.
Keep rolling.
We survived the Mettler earthquake
We
of
did.
2024. Thank God.
Mark's safe from the Mettler earthquake.
Okay, good. So, anyways, just to put a button on Diego, what I am happy about is all of us are kind of optimistic on where the Bruins can be in football relative to expectations this year.
Yeah.
But the proof will be in the pudding. Can they take advantage of this colossal opportunity that they kind of fell into based on their previous success and their location and their university's cachet? That's really the only reason that UCLA is not Cal or, God, even worse, Oregon State, right? It's because they do have some cachet, and that allowed them to get into the Big Ten despite how they've ran their program for the last 20 freaking years. Or 26 is the So, anywho, hope springs eternal. I guess that's where we'll leave it. Mike, you got anything else?
No.
Okay, well, let's get to What's Brewing with You.
What's brewing with you? You ask me. What's brewing with me? Yeah. What's brewing with you? What's brewing with me? What's brewing with you?
Mikey, what is brewing with you?
Well, it's been a busy week. My youngest, I now have all three of my children in double digits. Hugo turned 10 years old.
Let's go.
We're kind of this is a weird. Last week was weird because my daughter went to both cheer camp and she had her freshman retreat.
Wow.
So
Where'd they retreat to?
Where did they go? Big Bear.
Oh, nice.
So they had that. So we're kind of breaking up Hugo's birthday celebrations because we wanted Violet to be there, and she's starting school this week. So next weekend we're gonna have his party. We told him it's a little delayed from his actual birthday, but he loves it because his friends, his sisters are gonna be there. It's right before school. It's something super fun. So yeah, that was a busy week, but that was topped off by the bro party, the 25th anniversary, which was at Tracy Pearson's Crawford's Social in Westlake, California.
Mike Regalado.
It was kind of trippy because it's like I'm going in there and I'm like. I know the guys from Bro. Chris Osgood was there. Said hello to
hi,
him.
Bro. Did you say hi from me?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
yes,
thanks,
I did.
Mike. I appreciate that.
David Woods was there. Tracy Pearson. Brandon Huffman was there.
The anarchist.
Ken Grauer from Men of Westwood was there. And then they had some guys you might have heard of. Martin Jarman and Deshaun Foster was there. Dylan Andrews, Lazar Stefanovic. So I didn't get a chance to talk to the players, but
Jack Steffen was there.
Yeah. But I went up to Deshaun and said, "You look familiar. Were you in Indianapolis last week?" And that gave him a little bit of a chuckle and said, "Hey, it's nice to see you again." And yeah, he told that story. Did you see that when I interviewed him in the breakout session? I told you about it last week where he says, "Oh, and who are you again?" I'm like, "I'm Mike Regalado, Bruin Report." And he was like, "Yeah, I know." And he started telling people around. I was like, "All right, coach, look, I get it. Okay, I was tired."
Mike, he gave you an award earlier in the offseason.
Oh, hells yeah, he did.
Come on, man.
And then I saw Martin Jarman, who I've talked to him like, more, business professional, like media representative to, a university representative. But this was more relaxed. I actually talked to him like straight for 20 minutes. Like I was fully expecting him to just walk away and just talk to more people. No, he was happy. There were a few of us, like a group of 4 or 5 people just coming up. But yeah, we were just chatting about
cool guy, Mike.
everything and nothing at all. What was it? I'm talking about Martin Jarman, but it was really weird walking around, and we all had name tags, and people go, "Wait, Mike Regalado. I like your work. I like your podcast and all that." I'm like, "Oh, thank you very much. That's great." Just so bizarre that they know who I am. And I'm sure that Tracy and Dave and Chris felt the same way. Chris talked about it's like, yeah, this is weird. Like, people know me. I have no idea who's here.
When the guys,
I have no idea the people who are here. But yeah, it was a pretty cool event. It was a really cool spot. Nice. And he has they brew their own beer called Crawford's Cannon, which is really good. It's more of a lager. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there are other choices which I got to talk to Tracy about. Where it was I think it was Coors and Modelo Especial. I'm like, no, you got to up the stakes here. But no, very fun, and just got to meet a bunch of people whose aliases I only know. So yeah, that's what's brewing with me. Jake, what's brewing with you?
Just real quick before we get to what's brewing with you, what did you think? I totally forgot to bring it up during the last call we had, but Foster's response to his flub in Indianapolis was to wear that shirt. And
that was a baller move. Own it, own it.
I thought it was a perfect way to respond to it too, considering it was it's already done, right?
Yeah,
you can't cry over spilled milk, so you might as well lean into it and just embrace it. And I think it is a good way to just like say, hey, look, I'm not above acknowledging my mistake, because it was a mistake. It was bad.
Would Chip Kelly have done that? Hells no.
It caused the national narrative of your program to become a punchline for a week. So any positive that could have been done was undone by what the flub was. But with that being said, it happened. Yeah. You can't freaking, like I said, unspill the milk, unknock up the young lady, right?
Whoa.
Exactly. It just happened.
Well,
what's the expression? I can't remember what it is.
Well, if a certain female president is elected, you will have your rights secured.
We're not getting into a Roe v. Wade argument here, Mike. Okay, you're
moving on, Jake.
You're gonna cause me to get down in the muck with you. Bottom line, there's a funny expression.
Oh, muck. Muck. Women's rights are muck. Jake, is that what you said here on
you son of a bitch?
I'm joking.
Dwight Schrute.
Let's bring it back. Go.
In that movie made by Juno, what's her name? About with Ellen Page. Gosh, what is that expression?
Juno?
I'm totally fucking sidetracked. Yeah, Dwight Schrute.
I forget what that was.
Says something. Whatever. I'm gonna. If I don't cut this, I apologize. But anyways, bottom line is, you can't take it back, so you might as well lean into it. And so I was happy with that response, given the fact that it wasn't an ideal situation.
No.
Much like the coaching hire was not an ideal hire, given what should have happened. But with that being said, they're making the best out of it, and that's where I am kind of at this point, cautiously optimistic. So we'll put that away. What's wrong with me, Mike, is 2 things. Number 1, I went to a pretty kick-ass new venue. It's newish. It's been around for a year.
Oh, you told me. I didn't look up that band, but I'll check it out.
Operated by the Terragram Ballroom is another place that's a block away from the Terragram Ballroom, and it's called the Bellwether. If you have a chance to go to a show at the Bellwether, go.
That opened this summer, right?
The lady said it's been over for a year.
Okay, recently.
But it's kick-ass. Yeah. It's very small.
No, I've heard,
You have this nice little bar, and then it opens up into a just a little stage area, and it's for small shows, but it's kick-ass. And we saw one of my favorite bands, Gossip, there, Beth Ditto and company, and she was amazingly terrific. She's a crazy woman from Arkansas that happens to have one of the great rock voices out there.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like a rock pop band or whatever, but they're very, very good. If you've never heard the song Heavy Cross, listen to it right now. And it was good. But as a bonus, the opener was a band of 3 girls that have been they're like they're all in their mid-20s, and they're in a band called Mike's Fighting with Grizzly the dog right now. It's okay. He's trying to avoid getting slimed. Grizzly, come here. Anyways, the band's called Tchotchke, and they have some really fun songs. I suggest if you have iTunes or Spotify, you look up Tchotchke, and you look up the song Dizzy, and it's a really good song, and it's fun. And they're just a cool girl band, and I really enjoy them. And now they're like me when we moved Megan back into her apartment over the weekend. We drove up there, and Megan was playing that album like on repeat, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was very good.
Okay, I'll check that out.
So look it up, Tchotchke. Number 2, my son, who's as old as my youngest is the same age as your oldest.
Yep.
And that's Malcolm. Yep. And he is a freshman in high school.
Both
and
going
he
into
just
high school,
got his football pads yesterday, and he just had his first pads practice this morning, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it yet, see how it went. But he
Frost
is
team?
ready to
Or
start.
JV?
They don't have a frost team, which is super lame, by the way. But he's on the JV team as a freshman, and they're gonna have a scrimmage on Thursday, and he's on his journey, and we'll see how he does. I'm very thrilled about it for him, and I think he's
Malcolm
for not having ever played any sport before, which I urged him to do before, but didn't make him. He's doing pretty good. He's like strong as an ox and super fast, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does as he learns how to play.
Yeah.
So assuming he likes to play. So yeah, that's what's brewing with me, and I'm looking forward to that being a football dad for the fall. So here we go.
Well, cheers to that, Jake.
Indeed, Mike.
Yeah,
cheers to you.
Cheers. Clinky.
We got a football player and a cheerleader. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
Seriously.
Right?
A year ago at this time, I thought I was going to have a basketball, volleyball player on my hands, which still might, but she is really loving dance and cheer. And I'm like, you know what? That's what you love? Go forth and go kick some ass.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very cool. Very, very fun thing to do. And it's all good. Anyways, Mikey, let's end this.
All right.
I think we did pretty good considering that I walked in here saying I got nothing, and I think we made a fun, entertaining podcast for the people.
We make it a lot out of nothing, and in a good way.
And we had something. But imagine what we're going to be when we have more something.
Oh, yeah.
Like the coming weeks.
We are going to be
when
so
football
annoying.
season is actually going.
You're all going to be like, oh, shut up.
With that being said, we do have a couple irons in the fire as far as like other interviews that might pop up from here to there. I'm going to do another episode. I have one in the can of the bare minimum. If you are interested in that, that will be on the subscriber only feed or on its own feed if you can find it.
The bare minimum.
But that'll be out there for you. And I guess until next time, I think Jamaal's probably going to do a West Coast Bias at some point too. But until next time, thank you for listening. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/whatsbruinshow, or just whatsbruinshow.com, or on the Substack, substack.com. I'm sorry, whatsbruin.substack.com. Gee whiz. For just a couple bucks a month.
$2.
$2.
And until next time, Mikey, what do we say?
Go Bruins.
This is a tasty burger.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, bro, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.